Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Estes Proto X Nano Quadcopter. And just how small is this thing? Well, let me give you an idea. Now there it is compared to some popular other micro and nano quadcopters. You've got the Hubsan X4, the Blade Nano Qx, and the Helimax 1SQ. So you can get an idea of just how tiny this thing is. And now it also comes with a tiny little transmitter, which actually works pretty well. I mean, it fits in my hands. You can pinch even though it's got these big thumb pads. Some people have been modding it and adding little extensions onto the pegs to make it a little bit easier to fly. It has left and right and forward and backward trim, but there is no yaw trim. Let me get a little bit closer view of the quadcopter itself here. So this is it. This is just a tiny little guy, and the entire frame is the circuit board. So it's a little bit, susceptible to damage. I've crashed it pretty good a few times and nothing has happened yet. But if you were to break one of the arms, you're going to be pretty much out of luck as far as trying to repair it. The canopy does come off, but all that's under there is a battery. I believe it's a 100 milliamp hour battery, and so you can take that off, and the battery plugs in, so it is removable. Though as of now, they do not have replacement batteries available, which I would imagine they'd have to sell those eventually. And then it does come with a set of spare props and a USB charging cable. And you get about 5.5 minute flights for a 25-minute charge. So pretty long flights and pretty quick charging. I also wanted to show you next to the Silverlit Nano Falcon. That is the just released world's smallest RC helicopter. So you can see it's pretty comparable in size to that. I'm pretty sure this is the world's smallest quadcopter, at least in production, but they haven't, made that official with Guinness. But that gives you a pretty good idea of just how tiny this thing is. I believe it does have 6-axis stabilization because it has auto leveling, and it's really quick to level. It's nimble but precise, and I just found it really easy to fly. It flies great in small areas, has a good yaw rate. So, I mean, just really enjoyable. I mean, this may be my second or third favorite indoor flyer now. It's really that good of a flyer. And it actually has LEDs on it as well. Let's turn it on. So it's got LEDs just everywhere. It's got the eyes, it's got blue on each front arm, and it's got red on each back arm. So that's pretty cool. I did wish that it came with some sort of like carrying case, or that at least the box, like it was just strapped into there. I wish it was, maybe molded plastic where the quad would snap into place and I could carry it around in this box, or some sort of carrying case that held both, or maybe even a transmitter that the quad fit inside. That would be nice to help carry this thing around to the office or whatever, just because it's so small. But really that's my only complaint. And then it does have some hidden features basically that come about by using a Hubsan X4 controller. This uses the Hubsan radio protocol, so you can fly it with this controller, which then adds yaw trim and throttle trim. And with the Hubsan throttle trim, if you press and hold down throttle trim, it'll turn the LEDs on and off. So that's a cool feature. And then clicking the right stick will give you dual rates, so you can have high rates, which you cannot get with the standard transmitter. And then when you're in high rates, if you give it full left and then full right, it'll do a right flip, or full down, full forward, it'll do a forward flip, however you want to do it. But you can do flips with this using the Hubsan X4 controller. So if you've got one of these laying around, pull this out to fly it with. It makes it so much cooler. If not, I believe you can buy these for like $18 to $20. So that's a pretty cool upgrade, because not only is it Does it make it easier to fly? You've got bigger sticks and it fits in your hand a little bit better, but it unlocks all these hidden features that you don't get from the stock transmitter. And then to give you an idea of how small the stock transmitter is, it is tiny as well. So I think that's about all I had to say about it, so let's go see it in flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Estes Proto X. I'm going to be flying it with the Hubsan X4 transmitter, and I'll show you some of the special things it can do. So first we want to turn it on, which is just a little switch here in the back. Turn on the transmitter, and this one links up right away. You don't have to give it throttle, it's already ready to go. And now I wanted to show you how to calibrate the accelerometer. Since this has 6-axis stabilization, it's important that it stays level, and so sometimes you have to recalibrate that. And this can be done with the X4 controller or with the controller it came with, though this is not covered in the instruction manual. So what you want to do is you want to have throttle down, give full right rudder, then move the aileron back and forth left and right until the lights blink. There we go. So the lights blinked. Now the accelerometer or the gyro is recalibrated. It should be nice and level. And again, you can do that with this or with the stock controller. But you can only do this that I'm about to show you with the X4 controller. If you press and hold the down throttle trim, the LEDs turn on and off. And so again, you can only do that with this transmitter. So a couple of reasons that this is a good transmitter to buy if you don't have it already, to make this a much better little quadcopter. So alright, let's give it a flight, and you will notice it is super stable, very quiet, but just absolutely so stable. I mean, it's just, for how small it is, I would not have expected that at all. Let's see, it looks like I need a little bit of trim. Let's kind of get it trimmed out to really show you how stable it is. And then it's got a good yaw rate. And it can fly really nice and precise. Just a lot of fun to fly. And then with the X4 controller here, looks like I need some more trim. Hang on, I want to get it nice and trimmed out here before I get crazy with it. Okay, so with the X4 controller, if you press the right stick in, now I'm on high rates. Oop, and there I accidentally did a flip. Let's do that again. So now that I'm in high rates, if I slam the stick from one side to the other, it'll flip. So let's try that again. It's a little slow to recover, I think just because it's so small, it doesn't have a lot of power, but let's try a right flip. Alright, there it goes. Let's try a backflip. So, you know, slow to recover, but it's doing them. If you were outdoors and had more height... Oh, there, that one barely hit the ground. Alright, back on normal rates. So that's pretty cool. That's not something that's documented in the manual or that you can do with the stock controller. So another good reason to get the X4 controller to fly this with. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, it is just such a nice, precise flying. I mean, it almost flies like the Nano Qx. It's just super accurate and does exactly what you want it to do. Alright, let's take it in for a landing and try some night flight, see what these LEDs look like in the dark. So I left that little lamp on, maybe that'll kind of help the video not be completely pitch black. The LEDs are really bright, so they show up well even in light, and they help keep orientation because this thing is so small it's hard to see without them. So really, really nice LEDs on it. Hopefully the video is showing up well enough. Alright, we'll take it in for a landing. Get some lights back on. Where's he got? There we go. Alright, well I think that's all there is to show as far as she flies. It's just really stable, really precise, and if you get this Hubsan X4 controller, you got a couple extra special features you can do. And that's that. That is the Estes Proto X. Very cool. Alright, well thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.